Hi, first graders. In this video, we're going to look at how we can describe equal parts of whole objects. So remember when we're looking at fractions and shapes, and we're looking at the entire shape. So we'll look for the big shape first, and then the fraction is the portion that it is divided into. So right here, the whole is the square that's right here outlined in orange. And then I'm going to look at the parts that it is divided or cut up into. So if I'm looking here, I can see right now that the square or the whole is put into 4 equal parts. So I have 4 equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're equal because I know if I cut them out and put them on top of each other, they would be exactly the same size. I could stack them on each other with no problem. Now, what I'm going to look at today is there are going to be parts of your shapes shaded in. So for example, there might be a piece of your fraction that's colored in, and hopefully it'll be colored in a little bit better than mine, but it might be colored in just like this, or it might also say shaded in. So shaded and colored in are similar, the same thing. So if I look at the red piece here that I just colored or shaded in, I can describe that piece as 1 out of 4 equal parts that's colored in. So that would be 1 of my 4 pieces total. There's still 4 pieces. I just colored in one of them here in red so that you could see it. So that would be 1/4 or 1/4. 1 out of 4 equal parts. So I'm looking at that one little part of the whole. Let's take a look at another example. So here as I'm looking at this rectangle, remember I'm looking at the whole first, so I'm seeing the big shape that's being made here. So right here I have a rectangle where my mouse is around the outside, and I'm going to look at how many pieces my rectangle is divided into that are equal parts. So I see 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can mark that there are 4 equal parts. I could cut all of these out and stack them on top of each other, and they'd be exactly the same. Now, if I look, and some of them are colored in, let's say that this one's colored in here, and this one is colored in here. Oops, I got a little bit out of the lines. I know you'll do a better job of coloring yours in when you're working today. But we're not watching this video to watch Mrs. Willoughby color in shapes. We're watching her to know what to do for our job today, to be able to describe parts of whole objects. So now if I'm looking at it, there are still 4 parts. I didn't take any of the parts away or divide it in a different way. I still have 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. But now 2 out of 4 of the pieces are colored in or shaded in. So 2 of the 4 equal parts are colored in. That would be 2/4 or 2/4. Let's take a look at another example. So this time I have a rectangle. I'm looking at the whole. Then how many parts is this divided into? So if I look, again, it's got to be equal parts, and these would be equal if I were to cut along this line and flip it to stack it. They would be exactly the same. So I see 1 part and 2 parts. So we would put 2 equal parts. And let's say that this part here is colored in or shaded in. And again, we're not going to watch Mrs. Willoughby spend all of her time coloring in. So I'll just do it kind of quickly, knowing that when you're doing your shading in, you're going to do a much neater job than I am. All right, so now how many pieces are colored in? Well, I still have 2 pieces, but only one of them is colored or shaded in. So 1 out of 2 of them are colored or shaded in. Let's look at one more example. Oh, let's go back to this one just a second. So if it's 1 out of 2, then 1/2 is another way you could say that. 1/2 is shaded in. And then finally, our last example. So we have a shape that we're looking at first. Whisper what the shape is. Yep, it's a circle. Then show me with your fingers. So I should be seeing you, if I'm looking out, I should be seeing you holding up your fingers in front of the screen, how many equal parts that this circle is divided into. 4 equal pieces, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then let's say that I have this piece, this piece, and this piece shaded in here. So I want you to pause here and get out a whiteboard if you don't already have it out with you. I want you to write what's on the bottom of my page. So you would be writing blank out of blank equal parts. Instead of having a blank though, I want you to tell me how many equal parts are colored in now. And we'll pretend like I colored those in really, really neatly and they're all colored in. All right, so if I'm looking, I can look at how many parts the circle is divided into or split into. There are still 1, 2, 3, 4 equal parts. And I see that 1, 2, 3 of them are now colored in. So 3 out of 4 equal parts are colored in. That would be 3/4 or 3/4 of the circle is colored in now. So as you are working today, you're going to have a couple of different questions where you will have shapes and it will tell you how many parts you are supposed to color them in. So you're going to take your time. You can choose what color you want to work with today, but color them in neatly and nicely. I know you're going to do a better job to color in than I did. You'll also have a couple of questions today as you're working to show your knowledge, is that there will be some shapes that are already colored in like this one here. And for example, this one says color each shape that shows 2 out of 4 equal parts. So I would be looking to see, first it needs to be 4 equal parts I'm looking for. So it has to be in 4 parts. Like for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one has 5 parts, so I know I can't do that one. So I need something that's in 4 equal parts and that 2 of those parts are colored in. So I would be circling the one that has 4 parts and then 2 of them are colored in. Some of them might have more than one you circle. Some of them might only have one. So circle all of the shapes that apply to what it says there. So I know that you can do it today working on describing equal parts of whole objects. And if you need to, always go back and watch the video, or you can ask a friend quietly for help as well.